Hello, and welcome back to Fem Life. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel. 2 lucky winners get to spend 1 hour on video chat with me. The moment I laid eyes on the costume, my heart sank. It was a fluffy, purple maid outfit, complete with flowing pants, a shimmering vest, and a silly hat that looked like it came from a children's storybook. I knew immediately that my daughter, Lily, had something planned. She'd always been mischievous, but this seemed a bit extreme, even for her. As it turned out, Lily had somehow convinced me to dress up as her personal maid assistant for the weekend. She claimed it was just a joke, something to amuse her and her friends. But the more I thought about it, the more I began to wonder if there was a deeper meaning behind it. Perhaps this was her way of teaching me a lesson about teamwork or camaraderie. Regardless of the reason, there I was, standing in Lily's bedroom, dressed up like a fantastical servant. I looked around at the chaos that surrounded me. Snack wrappers, game controllers, and scattered toys littered the room. It smelled of popcorn and soda. Cleaning this up was going to be quite a task, but I knew I had to do it. As I started tidying up, I couldn't shake the feeling of satisfaction that came over me. Despite the absurdity of my outfit and the chores I was doing, there was something oddly fulfilling about helping Lily and her friends have a good time. It felt like I was learning something about myself, about the importance of lending a hand to those we care about. Sure, there were moments when I caught sight of myself in the mirror and felt a bit embarrassed. But I pushed those thoughts aside and focused on the job. I didn't want to spoil the weekend for Lily and her friends by making a fuss. As time passed, I grew accustomed to my role. The maid costume wasn't as uncomfortable as I'd expected, and the tasks weren't as demeaning as they initially seemed. In fact, I found a sense of purpose in taking care of everyone. Maybe Lily was onto something. Just as I was about to take a break, there was a knock on the door. It was Lily, returning from her activities with her friends. She looked surprised to see me still cleaning. "Hey, Dad," she said, a hint of amusement in her voice. "I didn't think you'd stick with it." I smiled back at her. "Well," I said, adjusting my hat, "I promised I'd help out, didn't I?" She grinned and nodded, and for a moment, it felt like we were simply father and daughter again. We talked for a while, just enjoying each other's company. As the evening went on, I noticed Lily seemed more relaxed than she had been all day. Maybe having her dad around was what she needed. The next morning, I woke up early, already dressed as her maid, ready to tackle another day of serving Lily and her friends. Surprisingly, I didn't feel as self-conscious as before. There was a sense of accomplishment in knowing I'd made their weekend special. As I went about my morning tasks, I reflected on the past day. Lily had been right, this had been a learning experience for both of us. She taught me the value of stepping out of my comfort zone, and I hoped I showed her the importance of family support. Later, as Lily's friends left and she began to clean up, she came up to me. "Thanks, Dad," she said, looking me in the eye. "I really appreciate everything you've done this weekend." I smiled back at her. "No problem, kiddo," I said. "Anytime." And in that moment, I realized that maybe being a maid wasn't so bad after all.